All right, so today I'm going to show you how to crop and edit your photos in Photoshop and save them, and then tomorrow or Friday, or tomorrow is Friday, Monday, we will create a composition layout with all of your images included in it. So first thing you're going to do is go to your Finder, and you are going to go to your flash drive. So you've already plugged it into your computer, and you're going to select all of your alphabet photos. Okay, don't select anything but your alphabet photos. I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy, or you can do Command C. Okay, then I'm going to go to my Google Drive and I'm going to go to my photo class folder. And inside my photo class folder, I am going to create a new folder. And we're going to title it. So I right click and I'm going to go to new folder. We're going to title this alphabet. And I've already done this, so okay. And then inside my folder, once I open it up, I'm going to paste those pictures. So I can either right click and hit paste, or I can do Command V. This is going to paste all of my images. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We are going to open these photos one by one and edit them one by one, okay? All right, so we're going to go to File, Open. We are going to find that alphabet folder. That's not where they went. All right, give me 1 second. Let me repaste these into the correct folder because I put them in the wrong folder. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video real quick. Okay, so you're gonna go to, Photoshop, find your alphabet folder that you just pasted your images to, and you are going to locate your first photo. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. So I'm gonna double click and it's gonna open it up. All right, don't pay attention to the blurriness. I was in a hurry when I did this. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna crop it. So we're gonna use our crop tool. That's this guy right here. Okay, hopefully you gave yourself enough room to crop your images. Okay, we're going to make this into a square. So we're going to click up here where it says ratio. This is your crop tool right here. Okay, if you're not seeing your toolbar, just like I told you, I did not tell you, I don't think. So if you don't see your toolbar, you're going to go to Window and you're going to go to Tools. Okay, and you're going to make sure that box is checked. The other thing you want to have open is your option bar. So you're going to click Window and make sure Options is checked. That's this bar right here. The next thing you want to make sure you have open is your layer panel. So you're going to go to Window and you're going to go to Layers. Okay, make sure that's open, and that's this guy right here. Everything else we can go ahead and just ignore. Okay, so on our crop tool, that's this guy right here. The shortcut is the letter C. You're going to click on that. And then up here in your control bar, you're going to drop down this arrow and you're going to click 1, 1 square. Okay, this is going to give us a square. So you just want to kind of tighten it up, really focus on just that letter. And the one thing you want to have checked is, is this delete cropped pixels. Okay, so what happens if this button is checked and you hit enter, and let's say I went like this and I'm like, okay, and then I accidentally moved something and I went enter. What's gonna happen is when I go to click back on this to fix it, I'm not gonna have anything because it is a destructive edit. It will destroy those other pixels, get rid of them forever, you'll never have them again. So you want to make sure that when you are cropping your photos, you want to have this delete crop photo button unchecked, okay? That way, if you need to come back and recenter or do something different, that it doesn't delete those pixels forever. So do not have this button checked, okay? All right, and then once you have it nice and cropped exactly how you like it, you can either hit this check mark right here or hit enter or return on the keyboard, okay? All right, so there's my first crop. Now, if you want to convert your photos to black and white, you may do so. Okay, so to convert a photo to black and white, there's a couple places you can find your adjustments. The first place is here on your layer panel. It says create new fill or adjustment layer. Okay, so we're creating an adjustment layer. When we create adjustment layers, it's a non-destructive way to edit your photos. Okay, you can always go back and get your original image if you needed to. So we have a whole bunch of options in here. Okay, if you want to adjust the brightness or contrast or the levels or curves or exposure, just like in Illustrator, all of those features are here. It brings up your properties panel, and depending on which one you choose, might look a little different. So this would be your exposure. So if you wanted to bump up or bump down your exposure, you could do that. If you wanted to do gamma correction, we haven't talked about all of this stuff, and we don't really use this stuff a whole lot. But your exposure is one. So like if you wanted to do like a more muted tone, like this is kind of how you would the offset. I don't mess around with that a whole lot, but you could do that. Okay, so if you wanted to adjust your exposure, you could do that. And what happened is it gave us a brand new layer. Okay, and then it gave us a box. This box is called a mask. So if I wanted to come in here and just adjust the way this piece looked, let's see. I could use my brush tool and then just brush on. We're not going to do that yet. We're going to get into that later. Okay, so pay no attention to the mask just yet. Okay, so just worry about adjusting your exposure if you need it. Then let's do black and white. You don't have to do black and white. You can leave it color if you want to. You've got some other options in here. Go ahead and mess around with those settings. Please don't go crazy and like change the colors, make them all crazy. We're gonna get to that lesson in a bit, okay? So if you make a layer and you don't mean to, or you need to delete it, what you can do is you can drag it to the trash can right here. You can hit the trash can. You can right click and hit delete layer, or you can go up to the hamburger, and while that layer is selected, you can hit delete layer. Okay, and that's going to delete it for you. All right, so let's make this black and white. I'm going to go black and white, and it made it black and white. So what the black and white adjustment layer does, it, oops, I wanted to delete that whole thing. It actually allows you to adjust the colors within the picture. Okay, so if you wanted your reds to be more bright, you could adjust it. If you wanted your yellows, so it's pulling those colors in or out of the photo. Okay, this is a good way to add contrast to certain parts of your image. Okay, some things you're going to notice don't make a difference. You're like, this is not working, it's not doing anything. That's because those colors don't exist within that photograph. This one has a lot of reds and yellows. Okay, you can see what happens when I'm adjusting that, and you can see my histogram over here changing as I'm adjusting those things. There's no green, so nothing's going to happen. There's no blue, nothing's going to happen. Just reds and yellows, which is crazy, right? Okay, so you could even hit the auto button. If you hit auto, it'll kind of auto correct. Photoshop thinks it knows what you want as the photographer. You're the artist. You're in control of your photo, okay? You can hit auto and see what happens, but go ahead and make the final decision. Okay, so now we have our picture layer, and then we have our adjustment layer, right? So we have two layers. We can always go back and get rid of this or hide it. If I turn off the eyeball right here, this is just gonna hide that layer, okay? But it's good to do non-destructive editing. Another way you could edit that I don't suggest, I'm going to delete this, is destructive editing. And that means you, like cropping your pixels, you destroy your picture forever. And to do that, you would go to Image, Adjustments, and then Black and White. And what happens is it doesn't give you that adjustment layer. It edits the photo directly. So once you're done with it and you save this as a JPEG, unless you save it as something else, that's it. It's done forever. You can't go back and fix it. You can't go back and edit it. So I don't ever suggest editing your images by this going to image adjustment. Okay, I always want you to do image, new adjustment layer here, or the easiest way to find it is here. Okay, so black and white. All right, so that is our first adjustment. You're gonna just adjust either the color, the exposure, and make a slight adjustment. You could do black and white, and then I want you to crop it into a square. You're gonna do this with every single image, and then you're going to save your files. So we're gonna go to File, Save As. We are going to hit OK. And we're going to put it in our alphabet folder, but we're going to create a new folder and we're going to name it edits. This is where our edits are going to go, okay? And inside that edit folder, you're going to name this your letter. So this would be the letter O, okay? I'm going to make sure my format is set to Photoshop, and what that does, it saves these layers. So if I needed to go back later and edit those layers, I could. So I'm going to hit save. Then I'm going to export it as a JPEG. So I'm going to go to export, file, export, export as, and here I'm going to change my format from a PNG to a JPEG file. So a JPEG file is going to be a flattened file. Again, I'm going to go to my alphabet folder, make sure I'm in my edits, make sure it's saved as the letter O, and then hit save. Okay, so now I'm going to have two files within my edit folder, my JPEG and my PSD. Okay, your JPEG file is the one that you're going to actually create your poster with, and then your name letters. Your Photoshop document is the one that you can go back and edit those pictures. So if I were to close this out completely, I've already saved it, so I don't need to worry. I'm going to go to File, Open, go to my edits, and if I open that PSD file, it's going to look like this. There are my edits. If I go to File, Open, and open my JPEG file, it's a flattened layer. I can't do anything to this. I can edit it again, but I can only edit the black and white, right? This one, if I decide I don't like black and white, I can go ahead and delete it. I can get rid of it, whatever, okay? All right, so that's what you're gonna do with every single letter. You're gonna crop it, and then you're gonna do some slight editing to it. And that is it. Okay, now if you have something in your photo that you need to remove, like a piece of trash or something, what you could do is use your spot healing brush tool, and that's this guy right here. Okay, you want to make sure that you're on your picture layer because you can't do it on your adjustment layer. So you want to be on your picture layer, and then we're going to create a new blank layer above that. So we're going to click on this plus. And then we're going to click sample all layers, and that's up here, okay? I'm going to use my spot healing brush, and I am going to make my brush a little bit smaller. And what I'm going to do is just start painting on this, and it should start getting rid of those things I don't want to see. Now, again, we've talked about this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why. I feel like the last couple times I've used this tool, it doesn't work very well. So see what you, oh, there's the remove tool. This is a new tool that I have not found or have not used a whole lot. So you could try that. So what you're going to do is you're going to paint on the part that you want to remove. Paint on it. Let's see what's going to happen. I have no idea. I'm going to hit the check mark and give it a second. It's going to remove that area. I don't know what it's going to do with it. Oh, okay. Actually, that worked way better than the spot healing brush tool. Okay. So try one of those two things. And if you hover, it tells you exactly what it is and what it does. Okay. Remove tool, spot healing brush tool. So with the remove tool, you got to paint on it, and then you have to either hit return or enter on the keyboard or this check mark in order to see your results. And you can see it gave me, now it's filling in those pixels on my new layer, okay? All right, so again, you gotta save it as a JPEG and a PSD. When you are done, you are going to go to your Google Drive and you are going to share that folder with me. So let's pretend like this is my edit folder. I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna go to share. I'm gonna go to share again, and then I'm gonna change my general access to anyone with the link, and then I'm gonna copy the link and I'm gonna add that to Google Classroom. This is gonna share your folder with me because you can only upload, I think it's 20 photos to Google Classroom. So you have to share the folder link with me. Okay, and you have to be on your web browser when you're in Google Drive. You can't go here and go to Google Drive to share that folder with me. Okay, all right, if you have questions, let me know.